Hey, my name is Kim. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to hop on for Vlogmas and do a how to save money at Christmas video. I think this may be helpful for a lot of viewers. I do a lot of frugal content on this channel. And honestly, one of my favorite parts about Christmas is getting really creative and finding ways to get my kids almost everything that they're hoping for, and always with savings. So let me share with you some of my big tips for saving money at Christmas, how to save money on gifts, and how to do Christmas activities for cheap, because having a larger family with 4 kids, some Christmas activities that a lot of our friends do are just too pricey for us, and so there's other things we do now instead, and we like them just as much. Anyways, if that interests you, please keep watching. I have this is as close as it gets to a Christmas background for me. I know the lighting's not amazing in here, but I've got my tea advent calendar. I got it off Amazon, but it's an Indian tea advent calendar, so it has some amazing flavors. I've already peeked at a bunch of them. There's vanilla spiced. A lot of them are spiced, which I love. A lot of different chai tea flavors. There's an Earl Grey chai. There was a cardamom spiced tea. I am so excited for this tea calendar. Most tea advent calendars have a lot of herbal teas. That's not really my favorite. I love black teas, so excited for this. Anyways, let me share with you some money saving tips for Christmas. I tried to write out sort of an outline of some things that we do, but inevitably I tend to be a little bit scatterbrained and spiderwebby with my thinking. My brain, I consider it to be like a mind map with one idea in the center, and then we kind of branch off with different topics and subtopics. So I'll try and stay organized, but no promises. Anyway, so a couple of things. So a few years ago, we had what was probably our hardest Christmas. So this was in 2021. You can go back to my videos. I did film that Christmas, what I got my kids for Christmas video. You may notice it's a lot smaller than other Christmases. So at that point, I was on maternity leave with my son, and I was only getting a portion of my income at that time for my maternity leave. And even though I'm so grateful for that time I got to spend at home with him, it was a tough year. So when Christmas came around, I knew I was gonna have to get really creative, and I found a lot of ways to save money, and I have just kept those now, even now that I'm back to work and we're doing a lot better. There are so many things I learned that year that I have just continued on with. So maybe let's start with gift giving. So one big thing that Christmas is I just brought expectations way down. So like, for example, instead of getting them a book series as a gift, one book is fine. So that was like one thing I did. I stopped buying stocking stuffers at Dollarama and restricted myself to only Dollar Tree. So that in and of itself saved hundreds of dollars, because if you go back and watch my 2022 Christmas video, I bought all my kids stocking stuffers at Walmart, and it ended up being like $100 per kid. It was crazy. Whereas the following year, I bought all their stocking stuffers at Dollar Tree, and it cost me $10 a kid. So I spend a little bit more now. I think this year I spent $20 a kid on stocking stuffers, but it's amazing how those really small changes can really add up. Another big thing we did was we stopped going to our favorite Christmas tree farm, and that was kind of tough, because we had gone there every year for the past few years. Amazing experience. You get to go and have hot chocolate. You walk around and pick a tree, and then they drive you up on a quad and you cut it down. Super fun, but those trees at that point were like $100, and we just couldn't afford it that year. So, and we actually haven't been back since. And their prices have gone up to $200 a tree. It's crazy. I mean, that's their livelihood. This is when they make their money for the year, but it's just not something that we could afford at the time, and we still just don't put the money towards that. So what we've done instead is here in BC, you are actually allowed to go and cut down one Christmas tree per family if you download a license to do so, and you can go to Crown Land and cut down a tree, and there's these different rules, but I'll put the link in my description box so that if you're from BC, you can do that as well. So we've done that the last few years. This year, our truck needed some work, and we weren't able to drive into the bushes to go do that. So instead we did go buy a tree, but at the time we were looking at each other and we're like, I forgot how expensive this is. So we we did create the budget to do that this year, but the last few years we've just gone and cut down a tree and just saved that $100. Another thing you could do is in thrift stores around Christmas, there are always secondhand Christmas trees. So if you don't want a real tree or the annoyance of that, there are so many used trees for like $20, $30 and they're beautiful trees. I'll put in a couple pictures of trees that I found if I still have them on my phone, but that is a great option. Something I do that saves money when it comes to decor too is I use the same decorations every single year. So something I did was I bought decor that I really loved. So for a couple of years, after the Christmas season, I would just go through and buy a couple new things. So I've kind of created decor that I love and I've used it for the past several years, and I don't feel the need to switch it up every year because it was hard to find all those little pieces. I got a couple things at Walmart, a couple things on clearance at Superstore, a couple things used, and I don't think I could find them again. So I treasure those things and I don't feel the need to buy new. So that would be a tip, is buy Christmas decor after this Christmas season when it's on clearance and tuck it away for the next year and slowly build your collection. So that's what I've done. I do my stockings at Dollar Tree. I already mentioned that. So there are some activities that we used to do that I realized were just really pricey. So one thing we would do, go to a bigger city about 45 minutes away, and we would see Santa and we get pictures done and we pay for them and whatever. So something we started doing in 2021 was our local home hardware store actually does a free Santa day, but you have to bring your own camera to take a picture. So obviously we just bring our phone, and they give out candy canes and stuff, and it's free. So that's what we've actually just continued to do, because why not? And they are great Santa pictures. I'll put in a photo here to show you. So we've been super happy with that, and we've continued to do that. So an activity that we used to love doing, and we always did it every single year, was in town we have a museum that has a train, and you during the Christmas and Halloween seasons, you can buy train tickets, and it's super fun. It's a big thing where we live, but it's so expensive. So for our family, it costs us $100 to go, and we've done it so many times that we've just kind of decided to look for other things to do. So if you're from Vancouver Island, this might be a helpful tip for you. Something that I'm thinking of doing this year is actually going to Butchart Gardens for the Christmas display. So and they do a big light display at Christmas time, and the tickets are $5 a kid, and free for 4 and under. Adults are $30, but that in itself saves us a lot of money. So instead of spending over $100 for the family to go do something that we've done lots of times, we'll be spending like about $70 instead. So it's still expensive, but not as expensive as the other activity. Other things you could do is, like, my family, we grew up not really celebrating Christmas, but my dad would sometimes take us and get a box of candy canes, and we would just drive around and look at different lights. And that can be super fun. People will post on social media if they have a really good lights display, and you can go and check it out. Free activity besides gas. So looking for little things like that make Christmas special. Another thing we did a lot was just choosing a Christmas movie that we would watch that night, and we'd watch it. We'd bake treats. We'd have a special like Christmas plate to put it on so it feels more festive. And those were a few things that we did. We would thrift Christmas sweaters. Another thing you could do is take the kids to pick out like Christmas DVDs if you have a DVD player, and that just makes it a little more fun to get to go and hunt for those things. Just some ideas for cheaper Christmas activities. Okay, so the next ideas are ways that you can save money on buying gifts. So I have a lot of ideas, things that I have kind of saved up over the years. So I'll go ahead and share those with you. So one big thing that I do is you could use your PC points for gifts. So if you're in Canada and you shop at any President's Choice store, you can collect points. And if you just collect them all year, like if you buy certain things, they'll give you a certain number of points. And once you reach 10,000, you get to spend $10. But if you just leave them all year until Christmas, you can easily find yourself with like $100 to spend on gifts. That's super helpful. I mentioned already that I don't buy stocking stuffers at Dollarama anymore because Dollarama is a $5 and under store. However, Dollarama has amazing gifts, and I do buy a lot of gifts from there for my kids. Anything that's $5 or more gets wrapped as a gift. Anything $5 and under goes into the stocking, and that's my kind of rule for that. Another thing that we have done to get the kids electronic gifts that they have wanted is on Black Friday, most phone companies at Best Buy, if you upgrade at Best Buy, they will give you a gift card in exchange for renewing your plan. And so my husband and I have sort of this schedule going on where one year I upgrade my phone and the next year he's due to upgrade his phone. So pretty much every year we get that $300 Best Buy gift card on Black Friday, and that allows us to get the kids something big. We didn't do that this year because he actually upgraded early because his phone broke, but that's something that we have done. So next year, I am due to upgrade, and so I'll probably be getting the kids big gift at Best Buy. Just a little tip. Another thing I do is I'm not ashamed to take advantage of payment systems like Klarna or Afterpay. They're like, honestly, they are amazing. There's no interest. You just pay in full. So a lot of websites have this payment option for Klarna or Afterpay where you can say an item is $100, you can pay $25 every 2 weeks until it's paid off. Honestly, I love it. I'll buy things in October or November, and then I don't have to do any shopping in December, and I just slowly pay things off over December, but I know I have the item and I don't have to worry about saving up for it. To me, it's the same. I kind of manage payments a little better than saving up. It's just my personality, but it works for me. Another thing is just to kind of tone down what you spend on other people. We focus our budget on our kids. And then for family members, instead of buying for everyone, we just do a gift swap and we set a budget. And so from like, I have 5 sisters, and so we just each pick one, or we're assigned one person each year. I buy one gift for that one person, and that's it. And it really, really helps budget wise. Another idea is using Rakuten. Now, this was recommended to me by my husband's frugal aunt, and I wish that I had started using this earlier when shopping this year, because there are certain websites that are on Rakuten. I'll put a code below if you want to sign up for an account, but you can get 15% cash back on your purchases. So that is pretty amazing for shopping that you're going to do anyways. It's something I always forget about, but it's a super handy tip. And lastly, buying used. Honestly, like in my gift hauls, you will always see used gifts. And honestly, I don't think most people are able to tell, because usually used things are still in amazing condition. People just like to declutter, especially for books. You read them once and then you're done. I almost always only just buy used books. So that is a big thing. So Facebook Marketplace, also Amazon usually has a used option for books and sometimes other things. And I think they're just returns, so they come back in excellent condition. They'll say good condition, but you get them and they are truly in excellent condition, like new. So that is a big tip of mine, is look for the Amazon used option. I'll see if I can put in a visual here for you. And then just being real, something that I did this year was I accepted a few extra sub days. I have a pretty flexible job where some of it's done in person and some is online, so I have the ability to do this, but I accepted a few sub days, and it got me enough extra money to be able to afford the gifts that my kids wanted this year. And yes, it was a bit of extra work, obviously, but it was worth it. And I have toyed with the idea of getting a seasonal second job, but I haven't had to do that yet. But that is another idea if you're really needing some extra money for Christmas. Oh, actually, I had one more thing. So I got a great gift for my daughter this year using my Starbucks stars. So if you're a part of the Starbucks rewards program, if you buy drinks or buy anything through them, you get a certain number of stars. It's like 2 stars per dollar that you spend. But then they often have challenges. Like, for example, I got 80 bonus stars for buying 2 cold brews in a week. They do double star days. So it's easy to rack up those points pretty quick. And I only go to Starbucks once a week, maybe, for my kind of me time sort of treat. And I only get the cheapest drinks. I get iced coffee or cold brew. So I have built up my stars quickly while not spending a ton of money. But I saved up my stars this year. And then I went in to look for a cup for myself, actually, but then I saw one that I thought my daughter would love, and it was on sale for $20. Once you save up 400 stars, you get $20 worth of merchandise for free. So I got a cup for her. I just paid the tax on it, I think. So that was another way that I saved a lot of money on gifts. She mentioned one more thing. If you go into, say, Walmart or say Superstore right after Halloween, they usually clear out their costumes, and that can be a great gift for little kids. I got an Optimus Prime costume for $5 for my almost 4-year-old. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, I know I wasn't the most organized, but hopefully there is something in there that may be helpful for you. Please comment below with any money saving ideas you have for Christmas, and I'll see you in my next video.